Taylor Lorenz, a journalist of the New York Times, has gotten some attention recently for some claims that she's made about the ways that online harassment have impacted her. So she tweeted this on International Women's Day, which hopefully, as you know, was a couple days ago. I hope that you commemorated and celebrated it as I did. She said, for International Women's Day, please consider supporting women enduring online harassment. It's not an exaggeration to say that the harassment and smear campaign I've had to endure over the past year has destroyed my life. No one should have to go through this. It's not an exaggeration, Taylor. Are you sure about that? I think it is. It sounds like an exaggeration to me. She says, I'm slightly open about some of what I deal with, but the scope of attacks has been unimaginable. There's no escape. It's taken everything from me. The only mild solace I've found is with other women who have had their lives destroyed in the same way. We've developed deep trauma bonds. Deep trauma bonds because, by the way, the Trauma Bonds sounds like maybe like an indie band. Anyway, I'll return to that later. Trauma because of mean comments on the internet. And this is what you so often get from feminists, especially feminist journalists, where they really seem to believe this is not a put on. Much of what they're doing here is much of this is performative. But the part that's not performative is I think she really believes that she is uniquely suffering this. Or at least that women, and especially women journalists, uniquely suffer this kind of thing. It doesn't happen to the rest of us. Certainly doesn't happen to men. Men never have to endure any of this. No, men, anyone in the public eye. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I have no doubt that Taylor Lorenz gets a lot of really mean comments, really vile comments. I have no doubt about that. I'm sure she gets many messages that may be quite upsetting to her. I have no doubt. Now, I have no doubt because I get that kind of stuff all the time myself. Most of the time, it's not upsetting to me because I don't allow myself to be upset. And that's really what it comes down to. It's a question of how are you going to respond to this? What is your reaction going to be? Because you're going to get it on the internet. All you can decide is how you'll respond. If it really has destroyed your life, I don't even know how that could be the case. If it is the case that it's destroyed your life, then why don't you simply get off the internet and go do something else for a living? Now, I wouldn't normally say that you should do something else for a living simply to avoid mean comments on the internet. But if you're saying it's destroyed your life and caused trauma and you can't get over it and it's unimaginable and there's no escape, well, there is. You know what the escape is from comments on the internet? The escape is this. I'll show you. Demonstration. Here's the escape. Watch. I'll show you. That's how you escape. I'll show you again if you're watching. So to escape mean comments on the internet, you do this. Put the phone down. That's it. And all of that stuff, it's happening here. And I can put it down and live my life. That's the great thing. This has happened to me many times where people are attacking me on Twitter and all of this stuff. And it's so great that I can just click off, put it down, go read a book to my kids. Doesn't matter. Let the internet freak out. Doesn't matter to me. So there is an escape. But it happens to all of us. If there's an impression that it doesn't happen to men as often, I think the reason is that we don't talk about it as much. That has to be the reason. I don't go around talking about it all the time and talking about how it's destroyed my life. Doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. Listen, hit that subscribe button right now. Do it right now. I thank you for your compliance. It is somewhat appreciated.